Shalom and welcome, brethren, to another lesson. Today, the name of our lesson is called Another Mystery of Yahushai. Basically, this past series that we've been doing, we've been focusing on Yahushai and the controversy surrounding the man and also the mystery, we dealt with his birth, and we showed you that immaculate deception is just what it is, immaculate deception. And the guys that believe in that, pursuant to 1 John 2:18, they're nothing but antichrist.
Yep, that's right.
You got to have proof of somebody being an antichrist. Well, that's your proof. When you hear a guy talking about the immaculate deception and the virgin birth and all that, that's your proof that this guy is an antichrist. And I'm talking about Adi Allah, aka Fred Sanford. I'm talking about Bubble-Eyed Blackhead. Who else? That shriveled up prune over there in England.
Oh yeah, Batfink.
Yeah, Batfink. And you might say, well, why you guys give them guys names? Well, that is in the scriptures too.
That's right.
Where it says they began to mock.
To mock them, yep.
To mock and the guy who could not finish build.
That's right.
And that's them guys, man. That's why they're teaching that madness and that nonsense. But anyway, our lot is to straighten out the lies and the bullshit, all right?
That's right.
So that's what we're going to do.
I got something real quick.
Yep, bring it up.
This is Matthew 18:7. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
Right, so you're going to have now in Matthew 11:6, Yahushua himself said, blessed is he that's not offended in me.
That's right.
So those guys that make them statements, they're offended in Yahushua.
That's right.
And they really don't want to see his kingdom come to the planet Earth. They love the so-called white man. And that's also admission, like they're saying, Lord, tacit admission.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a tacit admission that those guys love the so-called white man.
Right.
That's why they're teaching all that shit about Yahushua, because they really secretly, deep down inside, they love the so-called white man and they don't want to see his kingdom come to an end.
That's right.
So let's go into the lesson. We're going to begin at Matthew 1:1.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Yahushai, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
Now, we took a look at that word generation in the blue letter, and you find some good tidbits there, some nuggets of wisdom. We're going to go through it.
All right, this is the Blue Letter Bible, Matthew 1:1. On the generation, the word there is Genesis. What you brothers know, the word Genesis means beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis, source, origin, a book of one's lineage, an example in which his ancestry or progeny are enumerated.
Yeah, so just right there in Matthew 1:1, it says the generation of Yahushua. Is that not what it says?
That's right.
So when you look at the definition, it says a book of one's lineage. So if Yahushua was born of an angel, how could he have a lineage?
That's right. Then it says in which his ancestry or progeny are enumerated.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you had all those names. When you look at the first chapter of Matthew, you have what? The names of all these men.
Of his fathers.
Of his fathers.
Right.
The whole lineage, going all the way back to King David,
Or maybe the angel Gabriel is up in there, brother.
Yeah, right.
If you look hard enough, you'll see the angel Gabriel. Because according to them fools, was not Mary impregnated by the angel Gabriel?
Yep, that's right.
So maybe you'll see him in his genealogy. Now, also, we looked up, building on the word, the Greek word, there
Genesis.
was a word, something that you clicked. Yeah,
Yep,
there you go.
right here. This is the root word, genea, which he says is fathered, birth, nativity.
Fathered. Now, we always taught that another word for generations is fathers.
Right, genes.
Right, because how is someone generated?
That's right.
Through their
father.
fathers.
That's right.
And when you're generated, that means you keep coming back. Generations means just that. Anything that's generated, like a generator, right?
Right.
That's the same old current.
Right.
Passing through that generator.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, to give power.
To give power, right. Generating from DC to AC, alternating current. And that's what we are. Ain't we current in bodies?
That's right.
Electricity in bodies.
Yep.
So we're always generated, man. So them guys that's talking about reincarnation don't exist, Then how do you explain the word generations then? And then when you go to the book of Exodus, the Lord said he would visit the iniquity of the children unto the what? The third and fourth generation.
Right.
Why? Because that's around the time we come back to serve our punishment.
That's right.
But anyway, again, and those people that talk about that reincarnation don't exist, they're antichrist too. So just like it says in 1 John 2:18, we got a lot of antichrists floating around, all right? It ain't just one cracker, Damien Omen, like Elder Todd said. Listen, you know, the movie, The Omen.
Yeah,
He's the Antichrist. Or George Bush. There's the Antichrist. Or Ronald Reagan's dead now. At one time they said, I remember back in the 80s, did they not say Ronald Reagan was the Antichrist?
They say Obama's the Antichrist.
There you go. All right, so we dealt with that. Let's go back. Let's recap, if you don't mind, go over generation again.
Okay.
For edification of the brotherhood.
All right. Genesis in the Greek, source, origin, a book of one's lineage, an example in which his ancestry or progeny are enumerated.
Just like Elder Ramlov said, enumerated means you see the fathers, and it's right there in black and white, man.
Right.
Matthew 1:1, you see all the Yahushai's fathers.
That's it.
Go on, brother.
Used of birth, nativity, of that which follows origin, existence, life. The wheel of life, James 3 and 6.
The wheel of life. They made a movie for that. I'm sorry, they made a song. I think it was by Elton John for the movie or the cartoon, The Lion King. And the main song in that was The Circle of Life.
Right.
Remember that?
Yep.
The Circle of Life. What was a circle? You start at one point,
right,
then you come back to the same point.
That's why I said that there's no new thing under the sun.
Exactly.
You know, it had been here already, even from the past.
That's right.
You know, the only thing is that we don't have a memory of what we did in our past life or who we were in our past life.
That's right, brother. And the Lord blocked that memory out so we could live this life.
Right.
Yep. Go on, brother.
It says the will of life, James 3 and 6.
And that's why history repeats itself.
Right. The same people.
The same people coming back. Go on, brother.
Other explain it, the will of human origin, which as soon as men are born begins to run. An example, its course of life.
And that's why we tell you the so-called white man is going to pay in slavery for what he did in his past life.
That's right.
All right. That's another thing. These so-called white people, which are the wicked, they don't understand this. Because in the book of Daniel, I think it's the 12th chapter, it says, none of the wicked shall understand.
Right.
So they don't understand the concept of reincarnation.
Right.
Whenever slavery is mentioned, they say, oh, well, that was my foreparents that did that. They did that hundreds of years ago, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you are your foreparents. And you're going to pay for what you did in your past life.
That's right.
I mean, it makes complete sense, man.
Yeah, they think that just because they say they don't believe it, that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that wipes it away, you know. And then how do you explain you have people that have a strong feeling of deja vu?
Right.
They'll go to a place and they'll say, you know, I feel like I've been here before. Even this guy, the general, Patton, in the movie, if you get the movie Patton, there's a scene where he comes to this battlefield and he points and he goes, there, I was here fighting with Alexander the Great. I was one of his generals.
Yep.
Even Patton knew about reincarnation.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, brother.
All right, back in Matthew 1:1. The book of the generation of Yahushai, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
Now let's deal with the son of Abraham, which is Isaac. Now, Isaac was offered up, or almost offered up, as a sacrifice, which was a model of what was to come, being Yahushai. So there's that similarity right there, that Isaac and Yahushai is the same person.
They set the stage up.
Yeah, it set the stage.
You know, because I mean, when Isaac was on the scene, he was Yahushai. You know, that was Yahushai, but it wasn't time for him to be crucified yet. You know, because Israel had to go through a certain period of time of things that they had to do in order for the Most High to set it up so that he can be that ultimate sacrifice.
That's right. Yeah, remember, this is the Most High's movie.
That's right.
So we're going to go into that, Isaac being a sacrifice. Genesis 22, beginning at 1.
Genesis 22:1. And it came to pass after these things that the Most High did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son and clave the wood for the burnt offering and rose up and went unto the place of which the Most High had told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offerings and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they were both of them together. It says, and Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son.
Now, notice it says, where's the lamb for a burnt offering? Now, was not Yahushua called the Lamb of the Most High?
That's right. That's right.
The Lamb of God that who taketh away
The sin of
the world.
Yep. I believe that was John that said that.
Yeah, John the Baptist said that. That's right. And notice that during the Passover, which you're about to celebrate the Passover in a few days from now,
Yep.
What's the main course at the Passover? The lamb.
The lamb, yeah. And then when you cook the lamb, you were supposed to cook the whole lamb and afterwards eat it. But the scriptures tell you specifically when you keep the Passover, you're not supposed to break any of the bones of the lamb.
Right.
Because that was symbolic for when Yahushua was on the cross, when the Sabbath was coming, when the sun was going down, they wanted to take him off, off the cross, because they say that you're not supposed to leave a man on the when you crucify him, you're not supposed to leave him on a tree all night because he'll be accursed.
Right.
So then the Romans came by and they broke the legs of the other, of the 2 male factors.
Yep.
So that they can die quicker. But then when they came to Yahushua, he was already dead. So they didn't break his legs because he was that Passover lamb.
That's right. A broken bone. That's right. All right, go on, brother.
It says, and Abraham said, My son, the Most High will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together.
Now you imagine how much strength it took for Abraham because Abraham loved his son Isaac. Now you imagine a woman trying to do this for you guys. That's you're all into. Yeah, we got to get the women in there. Well, what part does the woman play in there? Can you imagine if the Lord came to a woman and told a woman you got to sacrifice him? That's why
he was 100 years old.
And he was 100 years old. That's why we tell you this thing is for men.
That's right.
This is a manly thing, man.
Yep.
The woman plays a part. The part she plays to bring back our nation. We ain't homosexuals up in here.
That's right.
All right. We need women. Plus to give us pleasure and comfort.
Yep.
That's their part. Bear our children. That's it. Go on, brother.
It says, and they came to the place which the Most High had told them of, and Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest the Most High, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. Now notice it was a ram. Now Isaac asked his father, said, where's the lamb, father, for the sacrifice?
Right.
And then Abraham said, don't worry, the Most High is going to provide a lamb.
Right.
But then what happened? He got a ram.
He didn't
get the lamb. Why? Right. Because that was symbolic of what was going to come down the line. Because Yahushua was that ram. Was that lamb.
That's right. And that's the explanation of that. All right.
Yep.
Now let's go to the next scripture, Hebrews 2:16.
All right, Hebrews.
That's why the scripture says there's nothing new under the sun.
That's right.
So Yahushua was almost offered up as Isaac.
Yep.
But then finally he was offered up as Yahushua, which is right. Which is only right.
All right. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham.
What's the seed of Abraham?
Isaac.
Isaac. Now you notice it says, for you guys that believe Mary was impregnated by an angel,